I'm Ben,
I'm Tommy.
and this is Been Talking Games.
So, we just played Massive Darkness.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's pretty cool. I liked it for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't have too many complaints.
It's our third playthrough.
Yeah, including the introduction.
We played the introduction. We lost.
Yep.
Miserably. It was embarrassing. We played the first scenario and the second scenario.
Yeah, so I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on how the game plays.
Go through a little bit of how someone plays this game. How difficult is it?
So Massive Darkness is almost your stereotypical dungeon crawler. It's not new in the sense of a theme or genre. So you choose your hero at the beginning. It's kind of D&D-esque, where you got to choose a class for your hero, and that's going to give you certain special abilities, amongst other things that you can do that makes you unique from the other characters. And after that, like I said, it's a dungeon crawl. So you're going through these tiles that make out this dungeon, and as you go, you're going to be fighting a whole bunch of baddies, anywhere from mobs of guys to giant monsters. All the combat is resolved with dice, both for attacking and defense. And as you go, you're gaining weapons, leveling up based on the experience you get from people you attack. And it's pretty straightforward. It's a fairly easy game to understand. There are a few intricacies with the rules with activating different monsters and all their special abilities, but it's something you pick up on pretty quick.
Yeah, I think actually one of the things that makes this game, and I think this game is going to get compared to a lot with Zombicide.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got a lot of the same mechanisms. It's got a lot of the same.
Well, the same designers.
Yeah.
You know.
So and with that, I think that the thing that makes this a little bit better is the monster activation is a little smoother.
Okay.
I enjoy that aspect of it, and I also enjoy the leveling up system better than I do in Zombicide.
Yes, I feel it gives you a little more freedom to customize your character and make them unique. Not only is there a recommended class for your character that you choose at the beginning, but you're free to choose any class. You can kind of, double dip there and make your character even more unique than what you're recommended to do.
Yeah, definitely. And not only that, but also as the progression of the game, I think, is better than the progression of Zombicide, just because instead of now this character is a higher level and has this cool ability, and these people are still behind, everybody kind of moves up together.
It's based on location within the game.
Right, exactly.
So as you progress from one tile to the next, you unlock the new level for all characters within the campaign, activating and enabling these different abilities that people are acquiring at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's cool that I can go and attack a monster, and because I killed it, you still get experience for it.
Yeah. For the most part, the only thing it doesn't give you that shared experience are just the little minions.
The little minions, yeah.
But yeah, everything else it's shared experience, and so the team levels up fairly equally as the game goes.
The first scenario, not the tutorial, but the first scenario did have those, I forget what they were called, but those...
Oh, the artifact point.
The fake artifacts, and when you pick those up, only you get the 5 XP.
Correct, yeah.
But in this one that we played, once somebody picks it up, it's a shared 5 XP for everybody. So it's kind of... It's got a lot of different mechanics kind of thrown into each scenario, which is cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I was worried about. I've played Zombicide a number of times, and for me, majority of the different scenarios I played felt fairly similar. I don't know how many plays you have of it.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's
wave of wave,
and you have blind objectives that you're going around the board hoping...
You kind of want to pick these things up so that you can finish the game and kill everybody.
Yeah.
And that is kind of one of the downsides of Massive Darkness is... It's not so much waves of monsters coming in. It's more so organized groups that kind of attack sporadically. And there are times when you could almost make the board clear and give yourself some time to move around.
Yeah, so on that, most of the mobs and the enemies you're going to face activate and, they spawn when you open a door. So you are almost in control of when and how many monsters appear on the board.
Which is similar to Zombicide.
In effect, you do have the activations and stuff happen at the end of every round, but I feel like you're right. I feel like you have a lot more control of, the board as a whole. You can control the amount of enemies at any given time a lot better in Massive Darkness.
And it doesn't quite give you that chaos that a lot of people really like in Zombicide. You're like, oh man, there's so much to deal with. With this, you get maybe 1 or 2 roaming monsters. Where it's oh man, what are we going to do? And then you have a group of people that are also attacking you and you're stuck and you can't get out. And, there are those moments. But for the most part, at least the scenarios that we've played so far, we've been able to handle it. Now, disclaimer, we've only played a 2-player version of this game. We haven't
Yeah.
played with any extra players. But so far, I've really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, me too. It's lived up to the expectations that I set for it when I backed the game on Kickstarter. I'd like to talk about that more here in a minute. I want to ask, what do you think about replayability? How do you feel the game plays? We played 2 different scenarios that were different, but within those scenarios, do you feel that they're replayable from a player standpoint? Yeah.
Yes. So the first scenario that we played, we had to get out, and there was no time aspect or anything. We could really kind of dilly-dally as much as we wanted, as long as we did.
Yeah.
You know, and that was part of the cool thing. We were like,
fun.
let's get cool big items,
Yeah,
and
yeah, for
you know,
sure.
we were one of the cool things about this game is the transmutation ability to take some
That is very
items,
unique, yeah.
transmute them into higher tiered items. That's really, really cool.
You love that the
love
first
it.
game.
Oh,
That, you
I
got a
love
kick
it.
out of that.
I love it so much. But you know, we did that like the whole time that we were going.
We did.
And one of the things that you said about it was it kind of fell off at the end, and it almost made it seem too. There wasn't like a, oh, are we gonna make it?
Yeah, it was pretty cut and dry. We felt comfortable finishing out the scenario.
Exactly. Now you died once, and that's one of
I
the
did.
things that this game has is it's got this like revival mechanism that if you
resurrection type thing.
you if you get 2
Standard
chances.
difficulty would be 2, yeah.
Yeah, so and you used up one of those,
We did.
and it was the same thing in this one, but this one was much different because we didn't have time to kind of let's open that door, let's open this door, let's go kill these guys. We had to go through, and we had to make sure that that giant spider didn't get out of the dungeon
Which
before.
was pretty neat. That definitely changed how we approach things.
Now, granted, that's only 2 scenarios, but I think that the 2 scenarios are different enough that I'm looking forward to playing the later scenarios.
And you know, revisiting a scenario, they've set it up in a really neat way. You have these, granted, you know, it's gonna be the same every time, but you open a door, you have odds of drawing different enemies, and so you never quite know what's gonna be behind a door, as opposed to Zombicide, where you know you have your walkers, your runners, your fatties, and your abomination.
Yes.
It's a lot more varied as far as the enemies go. And one of the favorite things that I like about the game is the way the items work. So the enemies will spawn with an item, and that item can either be beneficial to them or not based on their previous stats that those enemies come with. If it's a melee attacker and they come with a bow, they will not be using it. But they get a big old sword, they're going to have that thing equipped, and that's going to be that much more difficult of an enemy to attack.
Yes.
And that'll be different every game, not only the enemies that you attack, but what items they spawn with.
Now, I want to get back to Kickstarter in a second because I know you have a lot to say about this.
Yes, for sure.
But one of the things that I read a lot, I kind of went through comments to see what other people were saying about this, and a lot of people compare this to Diablo. And I kind of want to back that as well. I think that it is very much so a Diablo feeling game. I've played a lot of Diablo. I really enjoy the game, and this kind of has that feel. You know, you kill a monster, there's a drop.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest thing. Like, Zombicide is like, you killed somebody, what do you get?
You're alive.
Experience and you're not dead. Like, and I mean, that's thematic, because you don't have zombies that are like,
no.
right? But this is cool because you kill a monster, you pick up what they drop.
There's that instant gratification.
Exactly, and it's just so cool. It's one of the coolest things about the game.
No, for sure. I agree. Speaking of replayability, I have mixed feelings. So I kickstarted the game. I waited up until the last minute because I don't know, it was really expensive. It was a pretty pricey Kickstarter. And it's something that I wouldn't go picking up willy-nilly. But the different stretch goals that were unlocked and the exclusive content made it so enticing and so tempting, I couldn't help it. I think it was the morning the campaign ended, I ended up backing it.
Okay.
I followed the whole way through, but that's when I ended up backing it. And I'm glad I did. Yeah. And you get so much stuff in the Kickstarter. It's almost ridiculous how much plastic you get for this game. And in hindsight, I look at the base game components, and it's not a lot, to be honest, from a replayability standpoint.
No. However, we've played this with both the with a lot of Kickstarter exclusives. Now, you did not get everything.
I did not. I got what was included. I didn't get any additional add-ons.
So we played with a lot of the Kickstarter exclusives, and then we also played with just the base game.
Yeah, correct.
And I gotta say, the base game was still fun.
It's good. It is.
I did not
gameplay.
feel that it was missing anything. Now, we only ran into the starting monster and the one other roaming monster.
2 of the 6.
But in the first game, we ran into like 6 or 7 monsters, which would have far exceeded what you get in the base game.
Correct. Yeah.
So now, to finish up, you backed the game. It was a really long wait,
Yes.
and it was highly anticipated, and everybody was looking forward to this huge dungeon crawl that was supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think I got what I wanted. You know, I'm not going to say that this is, you know, some huge innovation in gaming. It's not going to replace all dungeon crawlers, but it's a solid game.
Okay.
It's what it is. You know, I can get together a bunch of people who don't play games, be like, you want to play something epic? Sit them down, you know, let them look through these characters and feel, you know, look, he's a barbarian, he's a wizard, you know, things they're familiar with, you know, and get into that whole RPG aspect of the game. And just have fun chucking some dice. You know, it's not a complicated game. You're throwing dice, you're cheering, you're leveling your guy up. There's a sense of gratification that comes from this game that's, you know, anyone can appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if you're going into it looking for something more, you know, I'm a backer of Gloomhaven, the second print run, and this is no Gloomhaven. And I feel a lot of people were disappointed because of that. And I knew beforehand that's not what I was getting. And so I feel like I got what I wanted. And so I'm real happy with it.
Okay.
What about you?
I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, no. I told you I was backing it, and that was about as much as you knew.
I looked into it, and I was like, "Wow, it looks really cool."
Mm-hmm.
I had played Zombicide after you told me you were backing it,
Correct.
and I really enjoyed Zombicide. So I was like,
"Yeah,
this seems cooler. I hope it's good," and it far exceeded what I was hoping for.
Good.
I was really pleased with the final product. I really enjoy the different classes and how you can level it up, and you could be this huge brawler guy, but then you could really go like a magic route if you really wanted to.
Be that archer that hangs back.
Yeah,
and picks people
and
off
I played the wizard in the last scenario, and it was cool that I was like this guy that could just hang out in the shadow, and I was like fireball. Yeah, it was cool. I really enjoyed it. Loved the game. Love it. If you ever get rid of it, I'm here for you. So
so we totally recommend it. Like I said, the base game, retail. Do a little research. Make sure it's something you want before you put out that much money for it. But it's a solid game. We both enjoyed it.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and found something helpful or useful in this episode of Been Talking Games. Been Talking Games. Excuse me. Yeah. We're new at this. But anyways, keep having fun playing games and tune in next time.
Yeah, I'm Tommy.
And I'm Ben.
See ya.